You know what I don't want to hear anymore? I don't want to hear anymore this BS about how sexual abuse allegations can ruin a man's life. Now, let me tell you why. My husband, now former husband, went to prison for sexually abusing our daughter. His daughter, my daughter, our daughter. This wasn't just allegations, this was convicted. He confessed to it, everything. These were charges of aggravated sexual abuse of a child. The aggravated part was because he was a person in a special position of trust, a parent. So you would think after something like that, there is no shot at having a normal life again. Wrong. Well, when he gets out of prison, he's not going to have anywhere to go, right? Wrong. He had multiple people who were willing to take him in after he got out of prison, and he did end up living with multiple family members when he got out. Well, okay, but he'll never live on his own, right? No one will rent to him. Wrong. He's renting places just fine. Well, okay, but he's on the sex offender registry, so people have to be notified about him, right? Wrong. Wrong. In fact, for a while, he was recently holding a leadership calling in his church where he led the group of, it's called elders quorum in the Mormon church, and it's basically the men who are of family raising age are typically the ones who are in elders quorum. He was their president. He was made their leader. He was trusted just fine. In fact, he was never excommunicated from the church for this. He never, I don't know how familiar you are with Mormon churches, but men can hold something that's called the priesthood, which is kind of a special authority that generally signifies to people that this person is trustworthy and is upholding their promises to God, etc. His priesthood was never taken from him, despite what he did to his daughter. Well, okay, but he's never going to find a job, right? Oh, he just does his own stuff. I mean, yes, he has found jobs, but he also just runs his own business and just plays the part of a friendly, goofy guy, and people trust him and do business with him. People don't think to look into someone's background. Okay, but he'll never, ever find another partner. He'll never find a girlfriend. He'll never find a wife. Wrong. A while ago, I found out he was dating a woman who had 3 children. 2 of them were daughters, teenage daughters. And recently, I found out he's married. Different woman, but he convinced another woman to trust him. And I'm guessing most of her family and friends too. Otherwise, this probably wouldn't have gone through, right? People are commenting on Facebook and, oh, congratulations, we're so happy for you guys. So clearly they're not disapproving of this relationship, which means they don't know, or they don't know the truth. All you have to do is tell somebody that they were somehow manipulated, that the victim was manipulated, that it was overblown, the charges were blown out of proportion, etc., etc. And suddenly people are like, oh, he seems like such a good guy. I feel so bad for what happened to him, right? And suddenly he becomes the victim. Now, before I knew for sure what was going on, before I really definitely knew that he was abusing our daughter, but I started to think, oh my God, this might be happening. I remember thinking, if I'm wrong and I accuse him of this, I'm going to ruin his life. And I know there are so many victims out there, and so many mothers of victims, or so many people who have a victim in their life who they love and they are aware is being abused, or they suspect is being abused, and they're afraid to make that report because, oh man, it's going to ruin his life. All we have to do is look to our current president of the United States to know that is not true. It will not ruin their life. Will it inconvenience their life? Absolutely. Will this be something incredibly damaging to their reputation, etc.? Yeah, and it should be. You know who doesn't get to just pick up and build a brand new life? Their victim. And studies show the level of support that a victim receives is directly tied to how well, how completely, and how quickly that victim can get on the road to healing and become a survivor. Less than 2% of allegations turn out to be false. And of known sexual abuse allegations, less than 10% end up having to serve time, be convicted, or held accountable in any way. 1 in 4 girls under the age of 18 experiences sexual abuse in their life from an adult. And that adult is usually in a position of trust, and is usually a family member, and is often a parent. So if you suspect sexual abuse, let me tell you now, reporting that suspicion is not going to ruin a life. Ignoring that suspicion is highly likely to ruin a life.